Hi, welcome to my second channel. I'm Matt the Comic Guy. This is my second channel. Today I want to explain about something. See, one of the MCU TV series I watched was called Moon Knight. A very interesting and very much fitting way of using a hero like him. Because other heroes like that, one reason they weren't successfully done, as audience respected when they became adaptations of movies or shows, it's because the people that work on them didn't know how to figure out how it would work. But luckily, Moon Knight, the TV series, actually does figure out how it works. And that's because it's by Marvel Studios. That's right, Marvel themselves. The studio that helps figure out how to make characters work since the very beginning, and always will be. Well, not really, but we'll get to that. So, why did this type of thing, where a dark and really intense hero worked here and make more sense to be successfully done than Deadpool in his movies, especially his third film? Well, there's a few reasons for it. Reason the first, the control of the studio. See, what you might know is that Marvel Studios was more use of balance of which one would take charge of what was going on with the tone and style of the show. Something that wasn't used in the third Deadpool film, which is called Deadpool and Wolverine. Some reason Fox decided that they need to make this full on their movie. Which means make it as obvious as violent as the previous Deadpool films, which is something that Moon Knight didn't want, obviously, and thankfully didn't want to do. Moon Knight wanted to be like many of the Moon Knight comics, but use the show it was a MCU version of Moon Knight. Unlike Deadpool and Wolverine, where it's full on feel like, well, Deadpool from the previous movies. Moon Knight actually has its action and fighting actually exactly like MCU Moon Knight. When you take out Deadpool and Wolverine, or again, it's exactly like full-on previous Deadpool movies, down to the violence itself. Whereas Moon Knight's violence, well, when I say it's like MCU Moon Knight, I mean it. It's exactly like Moon Knight in the comics, but used that MCU style. Reason the second, the way of the heroes is used. If you don't know, Moon Knight had, in both the comics and the show itself, has different personalities, and each one is used, by the way, interestingly in the show. He has his normal self, Michael. This Michael guy. He has the other, which talks to him through some kind of mirror reflection. And then he has the personality of Moon Knight. And each one is incredibly well shown of which one is which. If it's more normal or just a regular guy, not trying to do much of anything, then it's the Michael personality. If it's just a slight guy who is talking to him in the mirror, then it's the second personality. If it's full on the hero of the title hero, then it's the Moon Knight personality. And each one's trying to figure out which one would be which. Which one would come out faster. With Deadpool, it's just mostly just full on him in the previous movies. Full on not so appropriate jokes and curse words. Exactly what you expect from a character from the previous movies. Moon Knight is slightly different. This is essentially the different ways to show the personality, but used in the MCU way. Essentially, this is the way of the character they've seen in the comics, but used by MCU. This is a MCU way of the different personalities, is what the show is showing. So, what it's saying is that the former MCU, on-screen character is more so a careful / interesting way of the character, and actually is shown in the show to be shown. This is their version of the character, well, as Deadpool, just like the violence, is just the character it just feels like entirely the character from the previous film. Reason the third. Different ways of telling the story. Moon Knight thankfully is shown of what it is to the title. The show is all about Moon Knight and how you can see the switches of the different personality of his. Deadpool and Wolverine could have been the same thing, but nope, we had to have some way to show that there is a multiverse and multiple different characters. And it's kind of a little odd, since this is supposed to be Deadpool from the previous movie teaming up with a variant of Wolverine. Luckily, the Moon Knight series actually does show what it is from the title. It takes full advantage that it's all about Moon Knight. It doesn't need to have any other characters to focus on other than what the title is applied. It's all about Moon Knight. And the final one, the other reasons maybe a bit of deserve more praise with the Moon Knight series, but this one is more of deserved criticism for the latter. And that is, in fact, the use, and that is, in fact, of the use of the focus. What I mean by that is that it actually focused more on the story rather than what crazy things is going on with the Moon Knight character. With Deadpool and Wolverine, it just focused more on what type of what type of use is of the characters themselves rather than the characters' stories, and how the idea of the story happened. Moon Knight TV series thankfully is more focused on the story rather than the much of violence that it has. Deadpool and Wolverine is entirely the opposite. Moving focus on just how how much Fox likes it to be more like the previous Deadpool films rather than what Moon Knight is, and focus on more of the story. And there you go. There's a few reasons why Moon Knight is much better way and how to use a character like that by the comics compared to Deadpool Wolverine. This has been Crazywood Plus. I'm Matt the Comic Guy. See you in next video. Bye.